I'm still in the Blue Mountains today. It's mid-afternoon. I've been working all morning and it was time for a break, so I've walked down to a local coffee shop to sit outdoors and write in my journal for a little while. It's quite a pretty little spot, even though it is a cold day and it's looking very autumnal with the trees dropping their leaves, but this is the perfect spot to sit on my own for a little while. And look at me, the digital nomad, going back to hard copy journaling. And the reason I've done this is that I have been working a lot lately, a lot more than I thought I was going to be working whilst travelling. And I've just been spending too much time on a computer or on an iPad. And I find the end of the day, when I want to do some journaling and some reflection, I just don't want to be sitting on a screen. So it's back to the good old sensory feel of the scratch of a pen on paper. And just letting my thoughts flow and winding down through journaling. Having said that, I won't be holding on to the paper. What I'll do is just scan it and save it to Evernote for privacy purposes and ease of transportability. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So here's the chap that Wentworth Falls was named after. He was an explorer, Wentworth, who was part of the party that crossed the Blue Mountains in 1813. So the project, or one of the projects I'm currently working on, which I'm going to talk about today, is the refresh of the Learning and Performance Institute's capability map for learning and development professionals. This is a really good example, this piece of work, about the global nature of work today and how I am project managing a project on behalf of a professional association based in the UK. Well, here I am in Australia, moving around, travelling and working as I travel, and the stakeholder group that we're working on this project is globally distributed. Learning and Performance Institute is a professional association for learning and development practitioners dedicated to advancing the profession in a range of ways, and one of which is through this capability map, which seeks to answer the question, what skills does a learning and development team need? So they've got this map that they developed in 2012 by a process of consultation. So there's 9 different categories, each with a number of skills, which are defined and then broken down into 4 levels. So you can see that's available on the internet. Now, since it was first created in 2012, over 3,200 professionals have used the capability map to do a free online assessment of their own skills and those of their team. And some have incorporated it, as I did when I was at Coca-Cola Amatil, into the development of the capability of their learning and development team. So it's a very useful framework and encompasses a range of modern approaches to learning and development. It moves us beyond the traditional view of learning as something that takes place only in structured settings, either in classrooms or in e-learning. So with 6 years on, and the world is moving fast from all sorts of perspectives, in terms of technology, in terms of the human centricity of work, and a growing emphasis around people's expectations, both as consumers and as employees, and just a general pace of change. So it's requiring us to take a fresh look at how is the role of learning and development evolving, and what then are the skills that are needed moving forward with learning and development. If anyone's interested in finding out more, go to Donald Taylor on LinkedIn, and he posted an article last week on LinkedIn talking about why this change is being made and the open consultation process whereby anyone can have their say by completing an online survey, and there's a link to the survey available at LinkedIn. This is week 3 of the project, so 2 key focuses so far have been getting the survey online and distributing it to everybody who's done the capability map before, as well as going out through LinkedIn in open consultation. We're also starting to approach some specific experts to give us feedback on 1 or 2 categories within their field of expertise. We're concerned that the survey itself is quite long, and if somebody tries to respond to all the 9 categories, that it would take them too long. So we've asked people just to take a look at the list of categories and provide us with feedback on those where they feel they can add most value or feel most strongly about, as well as suggesting if there's any new capabilities that need to be added to the map. And the second focus has been on forming a steering group. So once we've got all this feedback, Don and I will compile that, and we're still figuring out how to summarise all of that in a meaningful way without it being overwhelming. And we'll work with a steering group with representatives from around the globe to look at the feedback and make some decisions about what needs to be updated in the capability map before proceeding to make those changes. So it's kind of like a 2 or 3 stage process that we're going through. My final post today is some of the photos of the beautiful autumn trees that I took on a walk today. Enjoy!